Assist an individual by taking the medication in its container from the area where it is stored, handing the container with the medication in it to the individual, and opening the container if the individual is physically unable to open the container, or assist, on request by or with the consent of, a physically impaired but mentally alert individual, with removal of oral prescribed medication or topical prescribed medication from the container, and physically assist with the individual's taking or applying of the medication. If an individual is physically unable to place a dose of oral prescribed medication to the individual's mouth without spilling or dropping it, developmental disabilities personnel may place the dose in another container and place that container to the individual's mouth. When an individual has been assessed as able to safely self-administer prescribed medication or self-administer prescribed medication with assistance, developmental disabilities personnel are not authorized to verify accuracy of medication being taken by the individual on a routine basis unless specified in the individual plan or individual service plan. When there is reason to question the individual's self-medication skills, a new self-administration assessment shall be completed. 5123:2-6-02. Anyone can remind a person when to take medication. Observe to assure directions on container are followed. Remove medication from and return to storage. Open the container if the person unable. Assist the person to remove medication from the container. At the direction of a person who is cognitively able but physically unable, physically assist a person to get medication from the container and to take apply. To provide the types of assistance listed above, personnel do not need medication administration certification. Introduction and instructions for completion of self-administration assessments. Oral and topical medication, inhaled medications, oxygen administration using a glucometer, performance of health-related activities. Medication, nutrition, fluids per GJ tube. Insulin, metabolic glycemic disorder medications. The purpose of the self-administration assessment is to ensure that the person is not able to safely accomplish medication administration and/or complete healthcare tasks prior to implementation of supports that could violate the inherent right of a person to self-administer medications and treatments. Prior to restriction of a person's right to self-administer medication or perform healthcare tasks, the Department of Developmental Disabilities approved self-administration assessment must be completed. When should a self-administration assessment be completed? The self-administration assessment is completed when a person guardian advocate is requesting support services for medication administration treatments, health-related activities, or when the SSA KIP or another team member identifies the potential need for support. A person is presumed to be able to self-administer unless there is a substantive indication that the person needs support. The person's team must have reason information to believe there is a potential need for the service of medication administration treatments, health-related activities, prior to use of the assessment. The presence of any given medical psychiatric diagnosis is not evidence of an inability to self-administer. There must be some indication, other than diagnoses, to warrant assessment of the need for support with administration of medication treatments, health-related activities. Indications that a person may need help with medication administration treatments, health-related activities, and that an assessment should be done can include person guardian advocate requesting support with medication administration treatments, health-related activities, and expressing indications for concern. Significant levels of assistance needed with other activities of daily living that require similar skills to those needed for medication administration. X. Recognition of routines, times of ADLs, memory of basic information, awareness of physical condition status, recognition of units amounts. The person has not completed necessary steps to obtain refills. Indications that health conditions continue to get worse, despite current medications for those conditions. Not using supports already identified to assist with medication. Statements by the person that indicate lack of medication awareness compliance. If when the assessment is used to establish the need for medication administration treatments, health-related activities, assistance, or support, it must be completed at a minimum of every 3 years, with a review for potential status changes done at least annually. The reassessment